Keep going, he says.
Okay.
All right, how's everyone doing with the World Cup, with their profit? We've got a dedicated homepage, sportsbook.com/World Cup 2018, where we list our profit and losses. I have to say, guys, I've had a really bad 2 days, but I tell you who has not is the guest. Our guests have 9.7 units of profit, and Nigel will be joining us very quickly. Nigel is part of the guest. He will be joining us for full time when in the new season. I think he'll be back for Premier League punters for those of you who love Nigel Seeley. But listen, let us continue. I believe that Nigel is ready. We can start the show.
It was a great day for me, at least. I had 3 and 1.
It's your birthday.
Yeah, thank you.
It's your birthday. Happy birthday.
Go shorty. So yeah, thank you. I think that Cristiano Ronaldo missed that penalty. I was 4 from 4 if he would score. So he's human after all. What Messi can do, Cristiano Ronaldo can do.
Yeah.
So both missed the penalty. Not impressed with Spain. Not impressed with Portugal. Not impressed with France.
Listen, look who is on the show. Nigel Seeley.
Oh, Nigel Seeley.
In the house.
Hello, mate.
How are you doing, buddy?
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Alex.
We cannot hear him.
We can't hear him.
Happy
Well,
birthday,
do you know what?
mate.
It has been one of those days, I have to say, except it's Alex's birthday and we're having a grill later. So hopefully we'll get Nigel's sound
Can you hear me
now? But yeah, you're right though, Messi. We're minus 1.6 units of profit in total.
In total?
Total.
It's only a matter of days. It's only a matter of days. Johan is here fixing the sound problems. We have to talk about other kind of stuff before we arrive to preview the 4 matches from Thursday. Now I think that we can hear Nigel. Hello, Nigel. No, we can't.
I'm joking.
Okay,
I'm joking. I was winding you up.
Were you? Oh, Nigel, it's been one of those days. I tell you, I do not need winding up any more than I already am.
I wasn't the first time, but when it come to me the second time, I've done the old mute. Like, hello. But I said, happy birthday, Alex. Happy birthday. Have a great day. Have a great day out there.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's my birthday Thursday when we're doing these games.
Is it?
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah,
and
big
obviously,
32. Oh, 32.
You know that cancers are great tipsters. This is why cancers are great tipsters, because we both are cancers. If he says that his birthday is on Thursday, so yeah, always check for a cancer if you wanna. You need great tips.
Got James Stacey says yes, live with Nigel, super friggin' awesome.
Oh, thank you very much. Very nice.
Super freaking awesome, Seeley. How's the World Cup treating you? I know you're posting pretty much all your plays on Twitter. It's Seeley_Nigel. I do notice you're still going for those winter nils. I was getting burnt by those, especially as it is the World Cup of penalty kicks, and you just can't factor those in. You know, Australia, 2 of their goals penalty kicks. Are you still going to be playing the winter nils, or are you feeling the burn too?
I think the winter nil will come into fruition in the knockout stages. I think it'll be tight again. Probably not playing them in these games. I mean, yesterday, England, that was a bad one because England should never have conceded that goal against Panama. I mean, that was just a sloppy goal to concede. And now it's put them in a sort of a bad position for the group, really, because I think we'll come on to that game a bit later. But no, early days, first games, yeah, probably second games, no. But I mean, Mo Salah today, 3-1 to score the first goal was just a gift from heaven, I thought. But they lost, and I think what we've learned from today's matches is these last group stages really tread very careful with your bets. Every single favourite today didn't win. Every single team that was favourite failed to win. So you know, in Russia went off favourites against Uruguay. So every single favourite didn't win. Lots of teams with nothing to play for. Team lose is crucial. And the other thing that's killing me more than the VAR is the last-minute goals.
Yeah.
There's been a whole load of last-minute goals that have really, really, really turned positions around. If you're under 2 or under 2.5, or you're back to a win to nil, the last-minute goals have really been very unkind to me. But on the tournament as a whole, yeah, we're small in profit. The win to nil has been expensive, but the thing is, I still think that's a betting strategy to come on in the knockout stages because the games will be tighter. Yeah. I won't be doing it anymore in this last group stages, and that's for sure.
Shane is asking on the chat if we think that tomorrow and after tomorrow all the matches will have goals in them because he had enough with 0-0 scores. I had enough also on my own. But I think, yeah, that now it's time for all the teams to come together and to try to score. It happened today. It happened. Morocco scored 2 against Spain. I don't want to swear. Iran scored against Portugal. The VAR is a joke. That wasn't a penalty in 1,000 years. If you could see that incident, what penalty are we talking? I think that I saw the worst referee from this World Cup so far. So not impressed a lot with the VAR, with the video assistant referee.
Yeah. Well, listen, let us crack on with today's matches. I'm sure everyone is dying to hear what we're going for. I'm predicting a bit more goals in this round of fixtures. So let's see if we're all on the same page. Hopefully, going to kick off with Japan versus Poland, Group H. Today's odds come from Intertops. We have a special team bankroll link, which is in the description box. If you want to check it out, just make sure, again, if you're watching this video on replay, when we've done the clips, just check whether the odds have changed or not with Intertops. Must win for Japan. Poland are out. Japan actually have been I sort of underestimated them, but they've been finding the back of the net. Poland have been sort of one of the biggest letdowns, I believe, in the tournament so far. The question is, obviously, they didn't score last match. Are they going to score against Japan, who do concede, Nigel?
Well, you say it's a must win for Japan. They only need a point. A draw and they qualify. So they don't. As long as they don't avoid defeat, they're through to the last 16, and that may be in their mindset to go quite defensive. I don't think they can. I think Poland have really been one of the biggest disappointments in this World Cup. I never really expected them to win this group. I like Senegal all along. I wanted to take Colombia on, but I was expecting a lot more from the Poles than what we've seen. Lewandowski's looking for a big move, and he's been non-existent. So the Poles really need to put in a performance and get some pride. Japan will give them a chance because Japan do concede. And if you look at the Japanese games coming into this tournament, both teams have scored in a lot of their games. I think it's 7 of their last 8 matches for Japan where both teams have scored. And I do think this could be quite an entertaining last game because Japan go forward at 100 miles an hour and defend very kamikaze-like. So I think there's goals in here. My bet is both teams to score.
Yeah.
It's 1.85.
Yeah.
I don't know what Intertops are, but I saw 1.85, which I thought was a decent price. I think this could be an entertaining draw. I think it could be 1-1 or 2-2. And I think now that's all that Japan need. Poland will get something from the game, but I think this will be a draw. But my best bet is both teams to score. I think both teams will score. Japan very, very good going forward. At the back, they're quite leaky, and they do concede and they do score. So both teams to score for me, 1.85.
Yeah, very nice. And we've got John Smith as well, both teams to score. Lee Levathan, Japan win, Poland in disarray, both teams to score. I'm liking that as well. Both teams to score could be a good bet. I've got that as well at 1.85. That's my bet for the match. So me and Nigel on both teams to score. What do you like?
Yeah, he was saying about Robert Lewandowski being failing to deliver for his side. I think that we all predicted that we all talked about Poland being a one-man show. Robert Lewandowski. If it wasn't him, nobody could deliver. He was the top goal scorer in the qualifying campaign, in the European qualifying campaign, but he failed to score in the first 2 matches. I think that they will play for pride. I still think that Poland will put a great performance against Japan. They are a little bit better, in my opinion, than Japan. And I have Poland to win with plus 0.25 on the Asian handicap at 1.8.
So, okay, so if the draw comes in, you're golden.
Yeah, I have a half stake win and half stake back.
All right.
Okay, I think just one thing. These games are very important. That what's going on in the other games has a big bearing on what we're going to see here. So, for example, if Colombia are losing, say 2-0 against Senegal, then this game becomes a non-event. It doesn't really matter because if Japan lose, Japan still go through. So I think it's very, very important to look at the permutations as and when goals go in at various different matches. So what we might think pre-match during the game could have a really very different outcome. So just look what's happening at the other game at the same time, because that has a massive bearing on the way this game is being played, and vice versa.
Yeah, but both matches obviously will be playing at the same time, so they won't. They
Yeah,
won't
yeah,
know
but
what's happening.
no. You telling me that football players don't know what's going on in other games? Of course they know. The manager
they
will
know.
tell them, it's 2-0. Of course
Absolutely.
they'll know. They'll be told, if
As they're
Colombia
playing,
win
they're
2,
like,
Yes.
right, they've got to score. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
yeah. So that they'll know exactly what's happening, and then what they'll do is they'll change the game. So if Colombia are losing 2-0 in their game, Senegal will top the group, and it's regardless what happens with Japan, they'll know they'll go through even if they lose or draw. But if the other game is 0-0, then Japan have to go out for the 20 minutes. So the two matches at play have a huge bearing for in-running punting. So what we think pre-match now could massively change an hour into this game, because what happens at one game has a massive bearing on the way we're watching the other game, 100%.
Yeah. Do you in-play bets, or you sort of make your bets before the game and then watch?
Well, I would on these games here, the last matches, they're so difficult, and it's all about the mindset. What we think now could be so different when we see the teams. At the moment, the other game is set up perfectly because it's a winner takes all, so it's huge. But I would probably have a very, very, very small stake here on both teams to score, because I don't think that will change. As far as Alex's tip there for Poland, if Colombia are 2-0 up, then Poland can win 5-0. It makes no difference because Japan go through. Oh, sorry, if Colombia are 2-0 down, it makes no difference. So it just either enhances your pre-match opinion, or basically gives you a little bit of opinion to trade out your position. But for me, I'm going to sit on the fence, both teams to score.
But Poland doesn't play for anything. They don't have nothing to play for. So
No, you're missing the point,
this is
Alex.
why I think
You're
that they will put on a great performance. Just to
missing-
go back
It
home.
depends
with
on the
I know
3
I like
points.
it though. I think, but listen, we've got to, due to our delay, we are on a time schedule here, as there's another show after this. And all right, so we've got to continue. Senegal versus Colombia now, Group H. Colombia 1.91, draw 3.6, and Senegal 4.4. Senegal have been very impressive in this stage. Colombia, though, obviously coming from a massive victory. Must win for Colombia. Senegal will be happy with the draw, as we were saying. At these odds with Intertops, please check for the updated odds in the link below this video. Going to start with you now. Obviously, Colombia are the favourites to win this one, 1.91. They've got the experience, but Senegal are a dark horse.
They are not walkovers,
No.
They have incredible players on the pitch, fast, creativity, skills, technique, great midfield with Kouyaté and Gouye, and great defense with Koulibaly, but they are struggling to keep clean sheets, and we can see that. Colombia, for my opinion, I think that they are the better side. They had a tougher qualifying campaign in South America. In South America. So I think that this is why they are favorites. I would skip the winners market. I'm going for both over 2.5 goals in the match at 2.05 with Bet365, because I think that Colombia will go all in. They need this win.
Yeah.
Senegal are very fast on the break. They are deadly on the break. They might score also, so we can go also for the Alex Classic. But over 2.5 goals in the match at 2.05, I think that is my banker for Thursday matches.
Oh, I haven't decided what mine is, but I'm actually also on the over 2.5 goals as well. I think this is going to be a very open game. I found 2.15. Nigel, what are you playing?
Very similar, but I'm going to go for both teams to score. 1.91 is a yes. Both, they can't afford to sit back. They've got to both go out and get the win here. So it's going to be an instant game. I think it's going to be very fiery. I think this is one for bookings as well. I think this is going to be, over the bookings market, because the defeat for either side here, and they're out of the competition. So it's do or die for both sides. A huge match. And I think that if you're looking at I think you'll see goals. I think you'll see bookings. I think you're going to see everything. I thought Colombia were very unlucky to have, they got the player sent off against Japan in the very early on, the third minute. That changed the whole complex of the game. They were probably the better team with 10 minutes before their legs sort of tired out a bit. But I do fancy goals. Senegal just know one play, attack. Vulnerable in the defence, as Alex said. Colombia's strength is in their attacking ability. Rodriguez will play. You've got Falcao as well. Goals in that side. Both teams to score 1.91 for me. But I do think this could be a real lot of bookings as well. Their lines over here haven't come out. But if they're over 4.5 bookings or something like that, I would definitely be backing that. I think this is very fiery.
We've seen what difference the last minutes of the game is doing, because Portugal and Spain earlier today with 2 minutes, 3 minutes in the last minutes of the game, Portugal was first and Spain was second in the standings. So Spain scored 2-2. Portugal received a penalty against them, 1-1. So immediately it changed.
Yeah.
So now there are three teams fighting for two places of the knockout stage: Senegal, Japan, and Colombia. A lot of stuff can change in the two matches.
Absolutely. Just looking, a lot of our viewers right now are liking Colombia. We've got Saeed. Colombia will push for a win, and there's a few others as well. Barcelona and Colombia win, and the over 1.5 goals. Tomia Tomo says, I think Colombia is the slightly better team, but Rodriguez doesn't look fully healthy. Luke DM says Colombia in the over 2.5 goals. Steve David says Colombia should win. So we're seeing a lot on Colombia here. If you were to play the outright, would you play Colombia, Nigel?
I really think it's very hard. I've had a soft spot for Senegal all the way through. I fancy them to win their group. I fancy them to come through. As an England fan, if England played Colombia in the last 16, I'd fancy England's chances to beat Colombia more than all Senegal. Because I think Senegal's pace and power will cause us problems, England. So, from my point of view, I'd like Colombia to win or Japan to be facing England in the last 16, because I think the Senegal matchup will be one that no one wants to play because they've got no fear.
Yeah.
And they remind me of Cameroon back in 1990, the way they play with no fear and attacking flair. And I think they're dangerous, very dangerous. So, on this game, I couldn't have a view on the match market. Just goals.
Yeah. So over 2.5 goals, myself and Alex, and Nigel is on both teams to score. Panama versus Tunisia from Group G. Tunisia 1.85, draw 3.75, and Panama 4.5. Both Group G underdogs. Neither will qualify. I think Tunisia have displayed a bit more flair than Panama. It's a little bit hard to gauge. It's one of those matches where, due to their poor defence, are we just going to see plenty of goals? This one, to be honest with you, I haven't passed a single game, but I have to say I'm leaning towards the Tunisia win. So I was going to listen to you guys, see if you could sway me, but I'm just at a stalemate on this one. I think anything could happen personally. Nigel, what do you predict from this game?
I mean, exactly the same camp as you, Nat, really. I looked at this game and it was one that I wouldn't want to touch with a barge pole.
No.
Teams with nothing to play. We saw today with that Saudi Arabia-Egypt game, which I'll make the comment now, and I might be controversial here. I thought that was the most crooked game of football I've seen for a long, long time. The referee was ridiculous. The Saudi Arabians, every game that Saudi Arabia played this competition, I believe has been slightly suspect. And when you've got two teams with nothing to play for, anything can happen. And it wouldn't rule me out that Panama got a shot win. It wouldn't rule me out if Tunisia won 3-0. I think we're building up to the last 16 where there's so many punting opportunities to come. And if you lost money on this one, you would be absolutely devastated. So for me,
Yeah.
I'm passing with you. It could be anything. I'd be interested to see what Alex's angle. But that game I watched today, Egypt v Saudi Arabia, that to me just didn't look right. And this game, I fear, could be a game that wherever the money goes, follow the money.
Yeah, well, do you know what? Well, I'd lean towards Tunisia, I have to say, on the outright. But somebody made a comment and saying cards. I think cards in this one. I think they're both a little like when we saw Tunisia against England.
They've got nothing to play for, though, have they? They've got nothing
I would
to
just
play
go for cards in this one.
Yeah, but they've got nothing to play for.
Yeah.
So,
Pride?
they're both out.
But there's got to be,
Yeah,
there
but
is pride though, isn't there? I know there's always nothing to play for, but surely, one win, they're going home but with a win under their belt, aren't they?
Well, you saw the games today, the Egypt Saudi Arabia game with nothing to play for. There wasn't many cards in that game. They probably had pride. I would. It's just one of those games that if you lost any serious money on this match just for the sake of trying to find the bet, tomorrow morning you've got to look yourself long hard in the mirror and think to yourself, I've lost $200 on this game. What the hell have I done?
Yeah.
I wouldn't get involved with it.
Yeah. All right. So it's an official pass, is it?
It's official pass to me. I like you now. I've played on every single game. I had a view on every game. I don't want to get involved in this game at all.
Yeah. Alex?
Yeah, I think that he's saying I agree about Tunisia games so far. They are very poor. Panama are really poor. He said about the game of today's game, Egypt versus Saudi Arabia. I think that the suspect match of this tournament was the first match of the tournament, Russia versus Saudi Arabia, not this one from today. I had Saudi Arabia draw double chance. They dominated all match long. Egypt had one occasion and they scored with Mo Salah. I'm really happy for him scoring at the World Cup. He discussed something before the match yesterday that he might retire from the national team because he thinks that he's politically used in his country, Mo Salah, for Egypt. But coming back to Panama versus Tunisia, I think yes, nothing to play for. Tunisia, I think that they are the better side overall. Panama, I think that the worst defense in this campaign so far, 9 goals conceded. Just one of them scored against England. And that one, I think that it was a national holiday yesterday when they scored against England because they were so happy they were crying at the end of the match, despite the fact that they've lost 6-1, but they scored at the World Cup, for the first time in history. So I think that we will see a heavy rotation of the starting 11, and I think that the coaches will give some minutes to all the players that they were called for the World Cup because this is the last match. But because I don't like to pass any game from this World Cup, so I will give. Maybe it's wrong what I'm doing, but I'm giving Tunisia the big chance here. Tunisia to win at 1.85.
All right. I think I just the thing is I just can't think of a single bet that I would lean towards Tunisia, to be honest with you. That's what I would do. But I feel like people are watching the video, and if I say something, I just.
But you have to. You need to give a bet. You're forced. Yes.
Okay, then I would go for the Tunisia win. If I had to go for something, I would go for the Tunisia win. If I had to forced the Tunisia win. But it's a very tough match. I think
it's a very forced match.
I think we could even see goals. Like, why not? They'll all be playing. They'll be relaxed.
Everybody crying after because we scored again at the World Cup. But yeah, Tunisia are the better side, if you ask me. I think that they put on decent performance, also against Belgium, also against England. When Panama, I think that they are the worst side, amongst the worst side. I don't want to be rude again, amongst the worst side from this World Cup. So thank God that I don't have to talk about Iran anymore.
We don't have Iran supporters, unfortunately. England versus Belgium now, Group G. Belgium 2.8, England 2.9, and the draw 3.1. Those odds very close. Let's see if we can predict an outcome there. Those odds with Intertops. Do check the link in the description box there for the latest odds when placing your bet. These videos are clipped. England obviously full of confidence after that 6-1 win, but I have to say that this will be their biggest challenge yet. Belgium have been incredibly impressive, especially in their last match, and I tell you what, they are my favourites to win. I think England are going to have a tough time, but I do predict an open match with plenty of goals. Let's hope. Nigel, can our boys do it?
Well, the first thing is that the prices you've got there, England are now favourites across the board to win this game. There's been a big gamble on England to win this game. They are now clear favourites and will start for this game clear favourites. They're very, very heavily backed in the last 24 hours or so on the back of that win. I don't know if that's patriotic money or I don't know what to say. If you can still get England, they're underdogs at the moment, that's going to be price move. You say there's goals. Now, this to me looks as though it's a game that I don't think either team will want to win. Because obviously the passage through to in the bottom half of the draw for the team who finishes runner-up in this group is absolutely huge. Whoever wins this game as runner-up will play the winner of the Colombia group, which could be H, could be Colombia, Japan or Senegal, and then a potential quarterfinal, World Cup quarterfinal against Mexico or Switzerland, with only Spain and Croatia in that bottom half. If you're in the top half, you play, again, probably a fairly simple last 16 match, but your quarterfinal opponent could likely be Brazil or Germany. Then you've got the French, then you've got Portugal, then you've got Uruguay. So the bottom half has really, really opened up. And as we stand in this World Cup group, we're on exactly the same goal difference, exactly the same points, exactly the same goals scored, exactly the same goal difference.
But
And I think this will be
England are in the first place because of the fair play
the
FIFA rankings.
bookings. Yeah, but I'm going to come on to that point. Basically, every team's going to, both of these sides will rest. Harry Kane will probably start because he wants to be the golden boot. Lukaku will probably start. Hazard will probably start. But there'll be 5 or 6 fringe players on both sides here. No one will rest. This will be a non-event. I think this will be a draw. I honestly believe this is a draw. And I think if it's a draw, that means England are going to win the group. So I think in the last 15, 20 minutes, there'll be a few players on the pitch who aren't going to feature for a World Cup. And I think they may pick up a couple of bookings to make sure that England don't. You're stupid. Anyone who thinks that people don't look ahead to the World Cup quarterfinal and think that it's so easy for England to lose this game or whoever lose this game and get that bottom two. So I think we're going to get 2 sides that really don't want to win. I really genuinely do. I mean, people say it's a World Cup final. The Italians have done this kind of stuff for years, tried to get an easier route and win World Cups. It happens. And I think, again, this could, for me, I'm going to totally sit on the fence, have a very small play on the draw. And if it's going to plan and England are going to top that group, I wouldn't be surprised if someone like Stones or someone like Danny Welbeck's on, or someone like JD Vardy, who won't feature in the latter stages, might get a couple of bookings so that they can finish runner-up. It's in both teams' interest not to win this game, massively not to win this game. So for me, the draw.
All right, going for the draw, 3.1. There is questions of whether, what did I see here? Lukaku and Hazard are out,
Yes.
said Barcaman.
Yes, they are out. Coach Martinez declared in the press conference after last match that he will do major changes in the starting 11. He will rest some of his key players in the last match. Also, Vincent Kompany is sitting on the bench due to a minor injury. I'm sure that Southgate will do the same thing. I think that Harry Kane will start the match because he's desperate to win the Golden Boot award. We've seen him taking penalties, doing everything just to get that to lift that award. I think that we will see goals. I agree with Nigel about the draw. We can see a draw in this one. I don't think that. I think that the most important for both teams is to avoid injuries, to avoid suspensions, to avoid the cards. To do everything to be very good from the knockout stages and after, because from the last 16 and on, this is where we have the tournament going. So both teams to score for me at 1.85. I was thinking which will be my banker, but I will remain at the other one with the over 2.5 goals. So yeah, this is just one unit.
Yeah, I think both teams to score. I like Kane to be anytime goal scorer as well at 2.1. Both teams to score 1.8. I do like the draw. If you guys are favouring one or the other, maybe look also to a draw no bet. England draw no bet, you can get 1.96. Belgium 2.04 might be another way to play the outrights there. All right, Nigel, going to start with you. If you can run down each of your bets for the matches and then give us your nap, please.
Yeah, I'm going to go for both teams to score in the first 2 games, which is Japan against Poland, 186. And I go for both teams to score Senegal, Colombia, 1.91. Tunisia v Panama, I'm not going to get involved in that whatsoever. In England v Belgium, I'm going to go for the draw, which is 3.2, I believe. And I do think that it'll be a game that no side wants to win. And I think there will be plenty of betting angles in running in that game to make those 2 sides not want to win the game. But my nap will be both teams to score Senegal against Colombia at 191.
All right, awesome stuff. What have you got, Alex?
I have England versus Portugal, both teams to score at 1.85. I have wait, I've lost my. You will say yours and
all right. Japan
mine.
versus Poland, both teams to score at 1.85. Senegal versus Colombia, over 2.5 goals. That's my nap. 2.15. Panama versus Tunisia. I was pushed on this one. Tunisia 1.85. Bet with caution, maybe a no bet. England versus Belgium. Yes, I'm going for both teams to score at 1.8. Kane anytime goal scorer 2.15.
Japan versus Poland, Poland plus 0.25 on the Asian handicap. Senegal versus Colombia, over 2.5 goals in the match, 2.05 banker. Panama versus Tunisia. Tunisia to win at 1.85. And of course, England versus Belgium, both need to score at 1.85.
Yeah, yeah. Just a quick Monmouth refund says, if you like Nigel's soccer picks, wait till you see his tennis. Very true. He will be back for Wimbledon, as well as Alex and World Cupper. So hopefully you guys can join us for that. I'm going to move straight on now to Alex versus the World with Jimmy the Bag. It's a rematch. He lost again to Alex. Let's wait and see how he's doing. But a big thank you to Nigel Seeley. We'll be seeing him as well, but later in the week when we're doing World Cup futures after the group stage matches. So
take care.
Big
Happy
thanks,
birthday.
Nigel.
Have a good day. All right. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone watching.